Good morning. We're going to start the presentation. The first thing is Jim is in the driver's seat because I can't key very well, so we have him in charge of doing the keying. We're going to log in under Agents Login. If for some reason one of you do not have your login information, if you just shoot me off an email, I'll be happy to secure that information for you so that you'll be able to take advantage of using the website and the easy-to-use pricing tool. After we've logged in, we're going to scroll down where it says Dwelling Fire Pricing. We click on there, and it brings up a nifty little form that you begin with by putting in the effective date. Then we'll put the name in, and yes, under Dwelling Fire, we can do LLCs, partnerships, trust. I wouldn't get hung up on how you put the name in because you'll still do an application. So you can type in what's the easiest thing for you to recall. Then the most important part is actually the risk address. You'll simply key that in, and then once you tab over to the zip code, it will populate the city, the state, and the county. Then we'll come to the drop-down screen for the coverage forms, where you can select the FL1, 2, or 3. And the next item is the number of units between the firewalls, which is very important when doing row homes or townhomes. You select construction type, which is your frame, masonry, a single wide or a double wide. The construction type, which is detached, row home, semi-detached, and townhouse. Yes, it shows condo there, but please note this is not a tool for rating tenant-occupied condominiums. You'll select your occupancy of either owner or non-owner, and then you'll pick your primary or secondary. If it is a seasonal rental that is even being used by the owner, you would still select secondary. Then we come to the drop-down screen, which will look a little different for some agents because in certain territories we have the wind-hail deductibles that are applicable for coastal properties. When you would put that zip code in, it will pull a different deductible screen. Here you'll select the protection class, which is actually some wording about what is considered protected, partially and unprotected. And then you select your coverage A limit, which will automatically populate the automatic 10% of coverage B and coverage D. And if you want contents, you would click on there and select the appropriate limit. Then we'll come down to our liability section, and you'll select your liability, and then the medical payments. Then we have some yes/no questions. Would you like water damage? Yes or no. We'll also have the question if you would like replacement cost contents. And the nice feature with that is if you clicked yes and went to do the pricing, you will see you get an error code that says your contents coverage must be at least $30,000. So that's a nice way to remember $30,000 for coverage C for replacement costs. You'll click whether there's a hot tub or a dock, and if there's a swimming pool. You'll also type in your email address, and if everything has been selected appropriately, you'll select Get Price Estimate, and up at the top it will give you the estimated price. So let's say, for example, you have a client in your office and they suddenly want to make some changes, whether it be with the deductible. All you need to do is come down to that, do the drop down, select the new one, and do your price estimate. The same thing could be applicable if they wanted to change their contents limit so that they could house the replacement cost. And then we're going to select yes, get price estimate, and it will recalculate the premium. Now let's say you go away, the client leaves, and a day or two later they call and want to discuss some other potential changes. It's like, okay, how do I find that? We'll go to search past pricing. You can simply enter the name or the address of the property and hit the search button, which will have, that capability will be out there for 60 days. So you have plenty of time to go back in there and check and play around with some quotes for your client if need be. The other neat feature is if you have Windows version 2007 or higher, is you'll be able to hit click here, and the actual Windsor-Mount Joy application will appear, and you can type in the information, print it, and then send it to us via email to issue the policy. Just bear in mind, as with all applications, they do need to be signed by your client. And this easy-to-use pricing tool is not designed to match every scenario that comes up. It is for one location per policy. It does not rate the condos. There are also some other enhanced endorsements that if you don't see down in the yes or no section, such as where the replacement costs and water and sewer damages, those type of risks you'll still need to send to your underwriter for the purpose of preparing the quote.
There are some additional things that pop-up messages that won't permit you to do some quotes, such as if the property does have a pool. If that would have been answered yes, and we go to get price estimate, it will refer you to discuss with the underwriter regarding the property for you to be able to get a estimate. You can either call the underwriter or you can submit to an underwriter for an estimate, and by clicking that will go to your underwriter and they will be in contact with you for additional information that might be needed.
It's important to realize that this is a pricing tool. This is not an underwriting by exception. And as Jim mentioned in his intro, we still want to have open communication lines with you, our agency partners. So just because it didn't go through or you can't select certain things doesn't mean you shouldn't pick up the telephone and say, hey, Lynn, can you help me out on this? Or shoot me off an email. This is just to help with the workflow for you, the agent, rather than waiting for us to turn the quotes around.
No, we will go up to the top again real quick just to show you what it looks like whenever we do have a coastal property. Since we do write properties at the coast that would have mandatory wind hail deductibles. So in this case, we'll put up a zip code of Rehoboth Beach, and that defaults us to eastern Sussex County. Now, whenever we go down to the deductible section, it's going to automatically provide you with the wind hail deductibles that are available in that area, what is mandatory, or what's likely mandatory in that area. Now, at the very bottom, it will say, depending on the specific location of the property, a lower wind and hail deductible might be available that would increase your premium. Now, so this tool is only going to give you the price with the 5%, $5,000 wind hail deductible in this example. But a 2% could be eligible depending on the exact location of the property. So once again, we can go to get price estimate, and it will come up with the premium for you.
Another thing to mention, because many of you have incurred this when you've been trying to use our own system to do the actual rating, is if Jim came down and clicked construction type townhouse, it is automatically going to add the appropriate surcharge. So no more worrying about, did I pick the construction surcharge? Likewise, if it was the hot tub or the dock, you no longer need to worry about picking the exposure surcharge. It will just come down, click the yes, and it's automatically going to do on the back end what needs done from the pricing availability. So that's going to be a great help in increasing the accuracy of the quotes when you use this tool if the correct information was entered in the system. If the information was entered correctly and it is off like $2, $3, we will adjust our pricing to match what you did on the pricing tool.
Well, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll open up the lines for any questions that people might have. By all means, feel free to let us know if you have any questions, whether it's in this setting or in another setting privately. Like I said before, this is a tool that we're providing for you to be able to get quick estimates to your insured. However, we don't want to eliminate the correspondence that we have with your agencies already. So if there's any questions, feel free to let us know. Does anybody have any feedback regarding this pricing tool? Does it seem like it's easy as well as fully functional for you?
Was everybody surprised to see that Windsor was doing a webinar?
All right. Yeah, we have a couple of comments saying that it looks very easy. So hopefully you all find this easy to use. And like I said, be sure to be in contact with your underwriters. We want to hear from you. We don't want this tool to eliminate daily interactions with your offices. So by all means, feel free to contact us when you have questions. If something in the pricing tool doesn't fit, that doesn't mean that it doesn't fit with Windsor. It just means that it falls outside of the guidelines, the parameters that we've provided you with on the dwelling fire pricing tool. So if there's no additional questions, we'll go ahead and we'll end our call. And there is a question. Do you do 3-unit dwelling fire policies? And yes, we do 3-unit dwelling fire.
1 to 4 families will be done on a dwelling fire, and even if it is in the LLC's name, because that's a frequently asked question.
And the one thing we would have to make sure of is to change the number of units between firewalls to a 3 family. and we would probably make that either a row house, semi-detached, or townhouse, and if we would go down to get price estimate, I change those items for you, and it will come up with your new total annual premium.
And by all means, when you're working on this, if you have a question, you can't stress enough, please contact us because we want to keep those communication lines very open, and I enjoy talking to you, so don't cut me out of the picture.
Well, I thank everybody for attending today, and feel free to let us know if there's any additional questions that you have for us, and we appreciate your business. And if there's anything that you see that that you might wish that could be changed in this, let us know. We can't guarantee that we can make those changes, but we try to make this the best that we could for you with internally viewing this. But of course, you, the agents, have much better insight on what you desire to see on a daily basis. So I thank everybody, and hope everybody has a good day, and hopefully this tool was very useful to you and your agency. Thank you very much.